Hi everybody, Alex here from Expert Forex, and in this important video I'm going to show you how you can take an account that is producing poor results as a result of the robot settings that you're using, and how you can turn that account around and make it a winner. So very important video this, so let's have a look at how we're going to do that. And in this video I'm going to focus on the RSI, the tradable RSI. It is our best producing EA. As you can see, optimized results for the year ended January this year using a deposit of only $1,000 resulted in gains of $104,000, and that's why we're using this particular EA. It has so much potential. Okay, so this is going to be a real working session. You'll see I'm going to be doing all the work for you. We're going to have a look at ways of improving the results of a failing account considerably by using the I wonder technique. And the I wonder technique is a performance improvement strategy. So we're going to firstly look at the objectives of the I wonder approach. Then we're going to have a look at how the I wonder approach works. And we're going to look at the many ways the I wonder approach can be used. And then lastly, we're going to have a look at improving the results of a failing account. So let's jump right into it. So the objectives of the I wonder approach is basically to find ways of improving your results. And it will become a lot clearer when you see it in action. And the other objective is to open communication with the market, whereby the market will tell you how it wants to be traded. Now that might sound strange to you, but I see so many traders whose egos are so big. I only want to trade the euro. I only want to trade the 5-minute chart. I only want to do this. And it's all I, ego. And the market doesn't listen to that. The market says, I will show you how I want to be traded, but you've got to be open to it. And that's what the I wonder process facilitates. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a failing account. And we're going to say, all right, it's failing now. I wonder if I'm using the right currency or instrument for this particular account. Am I using the right time frame? I wonder if I'm using the right time frame. I wonder if I'm trading the right time of day. And I wonder whether I started at a good or bad period. And then we're going to go into the settings, which everybody thinks is the main cause, but it's not often the main cause. And we're going to look at, I wonder if I'm using the right targets. I wonder if I'm using the right stops. I wonder if I'm using the right indicator settings. I wonder if my filter settings are correct. I wonder if my position sizing is good. And I wonder if I'm actually trading in the right direction. All I wonders, and that is how the I wonder technique works. All you have to do is wonder. Okay, so what I've opened there is a portfolio trading the tradable RSI. It's trading in a very special way, so it's not in line with what you've just seen. We are trading $300 accounts. We're trading one trade at a time, and we are trading low leverage on this particular account. So the results are going to be nowhere close to what you saw earlier, although it is possible to do that. These accounts are being traded for their linked account service, so we want them to be conservative but good. And they are, because look at these great returns, really good returns being generated. And what's important is the floating profit and loss is positive. Now, isn't that unusual? That is because the RSI is a pointing indicator. It points you in the right direction. So you end up, your open trades tend to be positive. So there we are. There are the accounts that are being traded. It's going on for 30 days, but it hasn't really traded for 30 days. We'll see why. And what we need to do is let's go and have a look at the portfolio in a little bit more detail. And what I'm interested in is finding the failing accounts. So we can sort them in equity order, and you can see there's some accounts doing exceedingly well here, but we're interested in the failing ones, and there's one that's not doing that great, 256. So it's made a loss of $40 on a $300 account. That's a 15% loss. And let's go and click on that particular one to see if it's suitable for what we need in this video. So there we are. Oh yes, we've got a downward spiraling account here. Let's see how long it's been trading. So this one has been trading for 9 days. That's not suitable. I think one of the things about the I wonder is the longer the period that you are wondering about, the more meaningful the results will be. So 9 days is a little bit too short. So I'm going to go to the next negative account. My immediate response to that account was, I wonder if I reverse the direction of trading. So let's go do the same thing again. And let's go to the next account, which is 263. It's down about $37. And let's go and see if we've got better history with that account. Okay, that one's been going for 22 days. That's a little bit better. I like it to be more or less 2 months, but that certainly is good enough. 20th of the 2nd to the 13th. That's about 20, just over 20 days. And you can see it's had a rocky ride, this one, but in general it's going down. It's trading the pound Oz. And what we're going to do now is try and fix this account. So in order to do that, we have to actually go to the trading account. So that's our next step. But in the meantime, let's have a look. The win ratio is 34%, so it's almost saying reverse your direction. And the average win is $5 and the average loss is $4. So that's actually saving the count. The winners are bigger than the losses. But at a 34.5% win percentage, you are not going to make a lot of money. So let's see if we can improve on that. Okay, and here we are in the portfolio that's trading the RSI, and the one that we were looking at was 19, I think it was. No, it wasn't. That one's nice and positive. Maybe it was 17. Oh yeah, there's 17. So let's go and have a look at that account, and I'm going to open it up completely, and there we have it. We've got some sells that have been blocked out. We've got some buys that went positive and sells that were stopped out, but that doesn't really matter. What we're going to do now is apply the I wonder approach. So this account started trading on the 21st of February. Now just remember that date, because what we're going to do is we're going to open the strategy tester, and we open it like that. And we're going to back test the results to see if we can get the similar results. So we go like that. We say we're looking for a tradable RSI. We put the RSI in there. We say the symbol that we want to back test is the pound Oz, and we go there. The pound Oz. There is the symbol. We're going to use the every tick. And this is being traded on the 15-minute time frame, so we're on that. And the spread that we're going to use is the current one, but I don't like actually using it. It distorts things a little bit. So I'm just going to have a look at what the pound Oz currency is. Now, how you do that is it never displays the currency. You've got to tell it, please. Now, what you've got to do is it never displays the spread as a default. So you go right click and you say I want to see the spread, and there is the spread. The spread is 30 points, which is the same as 3 pips. So I go down here and I say I want a spread of 30 points. So that's fair enough. So I've put in that, and now which settings are we going to use? So we're going to use the settings that are currently being traded. So we go like that, expert. So we right click, expert advisors, we go into properties. There are the settings that are currently being traded. We say we want to save them, and there is a set, but we're going to change the date. The date is now the 13th of March. 13th of March, and that's the set that we're going to use. So we say save. So we've got a copy of those settings. Now after we've saved them, we go back and we say, oh, we want to load them, and I then copy that. So I go right click and I copy them. So now those settings are in the memory, and we say, okay, that's fine. We close. We don't want that anymore. So we go now to our strategy tester, and we say, all right, well, let's go and put those settings in the strategy tester. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to load them into that one. I'm going to just paste it. There it is. There it goes in, and we say open. So now what we have is we've got the same settings as being traded here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to back test this to see if I get the same results as that is currently being experienced. So remember now the date that we had. The first trade was on the 21st of February. So I just go to today. That's easier to work from today. And you go backwards and you say on the 21st of February is when this one started. And we're going to say, and now we want it to end on today. All right, so we're now testing a period of about three weeks, a little bit short, but just, and I'm not recommending that you use short periods like this, but remember, this is an educational video, so I'm using short period to make this go very fast, and you'll see why that is necessary. Okay, so now we've got it set up. We've got everything set up nicely here. We've got that. We've got the spread. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run it. Now, why I'm running it is I want to see the count history here says that there was a loss of $36 made. So let's run those settings and see if it comes out to $36. Now, please note I'm using the broker's data here. It's not the most accurate data that you can find, but at least I know that I have it because the chart has all that data. I would prefer using imported tick data to be more accurate. So this might not be as accurate as we'd like it to be. So let's go and have a look. Okay, so now, this is the thing with back testing, and clients always saying, oh, I can't get the same results as you. We can't even get the same results as was traded in this particular case. A $2 profit was in fact recorded by the back testing. So let's go and have a look if we can refine this a little bit. Firstly, I see I did not put in $300. That's the balance that we started with. So that's one error that was made. I just want to make sure 636. Just want to make sure that's the same settings. $636. Okay, so we are using the same settings, and yet we can't duplicate the results. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but isn't that funny that so I'm going to try and see if I can get closer to those results. It could have something to do with the date of starting. I'm going to just do that and run it again. And it also could be as a result of the fact that we are not using tick data. Taking a while, and we go report. All right, now I'm getting negative, but I'm not getting the $36 negative. I'm still getting $7 negative. Let's see what else could be the matter. Everything seems fine. Can't think of anything else that could be the matter. So firstly, here's lesson number one. Back testing is most probably the most inaccurate activity that you can do. So when somebody gives you a set file and there you've seen it, we're testing exactly the same account, the same dates, everything the same, and we can't duplicate the settings. And there is a reason for that, because broker history is very broken. Broker history, and I'll just take a bit of time because I think it's worthwhile showing this, there's the history center. So when trading happens, the robot trades every tick that happens. Every change of is being traded by the robot. But when we're using broker history, and so as you can see, the broker history consists of the candle high, the candle low, the close of the candle, and the open of the candle. That's what it consists. So it hasn't got those delicate movements in between. So if you've got a big candle, the trading doesn't know whether the high was the firstly done or the low was firstly done, and that's why you get inaccurate results. Now this has the potential of being a very long video, so I'm going to short circuit it quite considerably in terms of the I wonder process. So at this point you would say, am I trading the correct currency? And what you would then do is you basically just change the currency, test a few other currencies, test the pound, test the euro, test the euro yen, test the pound yen, test a few other currencies to see if the settings that you are using are more suitable to those currencies. So that's what you would do. You just run them and do exactly what I've done now, and all you do is you change that and it will run and it will tell you the profitability of that one. Then the other thing that you would test is you'd test the time frame. You'd say, is 15 minutes a good time frame for the pound Oz? Now that we can test, and this is where we say, I wonder if the 15-minute time frame is the best time frame. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually change that. I'm going to change it to 30 minutes. And then we just run it again and have a look at that. So we've gone from minus $7 to plus $14. We have made a 200% improvement. In other words, $7 would have been 100%, $14 would be 200%. In fact, we've done a 300% improvement just by saying, I wonder if we traded another time frame, what kind of results we get. Now that's the beauty of the I wonder process. So suddenly we've turned a negative result into a positive result. Okay, so let's wonder some more. Let's wonder if the 1 hour is better. So let's have a look. I'll record these results. Let me just record them here on the side. 1 hour. So this is how the I wonder process works. You just wonder. Now, unfortunately we haven't been able to do currencies, but let's just do the 1 hour. I'm putting 1 hour in there and I'm running it. All right, so the 1 hour has gone backwards. The 1 hour has gone -5. So we know. So what have we learned so far? We've learned that the settings that we're using now are more suitable for the 30-minute time frame. So let's go and test the last one, and we'll go and do the 4 hour. All right, so we'll run the 4 hour back test, and that's also gone backwards. That's -5. So clearly the 30-minute time frame is most suitable to the current settings. So we've learned something there, but I'm not going to change it to the 30-minute time frame. We're going to take another step. So the next step is we're going to have a look at the settings, and we're going to open the settings up, and we're going to test the settings one by one by saying, I wonder if I change this setting, what will happen? So the first thing that I like doing, we can do the RSI settings. So the RSI settings consist of the period of the RSI and the levels of the RSI. Those are the two things that determine the profitability of the EA as it's trading. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to test those two. And you have to do certain tests. You have to do combined settings, and other ones you can do single settings, but this one is a combined setting. So we're going to say, okay, let's test settings from 2 with jumps of 2 to, let's say, 12. And let's say the entry levels would be, this is a buy, so the entry levels would be 10 with jumps of 5, and we're going to go to 45. Okay, so it's now going to test the combinations of those ones, and we're going to go, and because we're using broker history, I'm going to not use tick because the broker history doesn't have tick. It has open price history, so that's what we're actually using. Okay, so now we're going to run the RSI optimization settings, and I've just returned that to 15 minutes because that's the settings that we're testing. And I've also turned this into open prices because we're using broker history that has only got open price candles, and we're going to then say, okay, optimize, and we go start. Oh, and it's pretty fast. 48 optimizations were done very quickly, and there we go. How is that? Incredible improvement. There you can see the top result 30%, but let's just make $30. So what we've done is, by changing the RSI to a 2 and the entry level to 15, suddenly the profits have jumped from -7, that's where we started, to $30, but the drawdown is pretty high, $21. That one is, the drawdowns in this particular case are pretty high. We'll see if we can get those lower, but at least we know that by changing the RSI settings, we can increase the results by to $30. Okay, I'm going to record that, and I'll just do it off screen. We can look at it at a later stage. So the best we got there by changing the settings there was $30.98. Already a magnificent improvement. So we carry on. So we say, okay, that is wonderful news. We'll keep those settings that we had before, or maybe we could improve them, but let's just see. We'll just keep the settings as they were before, and then we go here to initial stop loss and initial take profit. Now those are the other big drivers in a robot like this. So we say, all right, we want to run from 10 pips. These are in pips. 10 pips with jumps of 5 to 60. 10 pips with jumps of 5 to 80. That's more or less what we want to test. We untick those ones at the top. So those are the only two that we're going to test. And we've seen that the testing goes pretty fast. We go boom. And there we are. We've done 165 combinations. And let's go and see what the best result is there. So the best result here is $28.64. Again, a huge improvement. Only testing two things. So the RSI's made a bigger impact, and I'm going to just list it here. But the stop and the target and stop has resulted in 28. Now, can you see already how you can improve the performance of your EAs just by doing these simple exercises that I've just done now? Now you've got to decide, do you want to change the stop and target, or do you want to change the RSI settings? We can do them all at the same time. But the I Wonder has alerted you to, firstly, what are the most sensitive settings, and the stops and targets appear to be less sensitive than the RSI settings, because RSI settings resulted in better profits. But let's carry on. Let's carry on this journey of I Wonder. Okay, let's see. We go into the settings again, And let's have a look. All right, so we've done those. Okay, so here we have the ADX and ADX trigger levels, and we have enabled market phase, so they will play a role. And so I'm going to test them, and the way to test that, I'm going to go 2 with gaps of 2, with jumps of 2 to about 14. That's a good number. And then the targets, you need to know the ADX, how it works in order to make the decisions I'm making now. And the target there would be, the target level would be 10 with jumps of 5 up until, let's go to 50. That's fine. Now let's see if changing the ADX filters make any change at all. So let's go and have a look. We say optimize, and we go boom. And the way it goes, it's doing a few too many. Let's just see. Stop. Well, I forgot to untick those, so I'll untick those and we'll just do the ADX. Okay, so now it's done 63 options. We go and have a look, and you can see it has improved the profitability to 22. So I'm going to actually just write that down. So now we've said, I wonder if we change the ADX settings, what will happen? I wonder if we change the RSI settings, what would happen? I wonder if we change the targets and stops, what would happen? This is the beauty of the I wonder. It gives you an idea of what's going on. Now, there is something that I did not show you, and I will go back and show you that. So at first, ADX, and that is 22. So the ADX is the least, makes the smallest contribution to improve profits. And we'll just look at if there's anything else that we need to do. I'm going to the settings that change the strategy that we're using, I'm not going to change at this stage. We could change the manual lots, but that's a good number. And yeah, that's about it. Now, one thing I do want to do is I'm going to redo the let's do the most important one. I'm going to redo this one over here. Rerun that because it doesn't take too long, so we rerun those, and let's just see if we come up with the same number. Yeah, you see we've come up with a different number, and that is also one of the beauties of backtesting. You'll get different answers every now and then. So now we want to see, what I want to see now is how secure that analysis is. So we go to optimization chart, and we say here is this is the RSI buy period, and that is the RSI entry level. Have I done it correctly? Yeah. Okay. So what it's saying is that this EA likes very fast RSI settings between 2 and 4. This is where the darker the color, the more the profit. So this is where the highest profit lies. And it also likes low entry levels. So the lower the entry level, like 15 and 30, that is what this particular robot likes. So going for this, for that block there, or those settings there, is not too bad, because if you get it wrong, you're still in a dark blue. If you get that one wrong, you're still in a dark blue. If you get that one wrong, you go into a light blue. So you don't want to get the period of your RSI wrong. So that is why these heat maps are quite good. They say it's important to stay between 2 and 4. And it's important to stay between 15 and 20, so that we know that is where It is, and we need to stay away from some of these lighter blocks. So this heat map actually helps quite a lot. Okay, so this is what the I wonder does. It improves. Now you've got to decide, do you want to do the change the RSI settings? Do you want to change the target and stop settings? What do you want to do? So let's go and have a look at the target. So the target ones aren't bad because they've got a small stop and a large target, so that's really good. So I think on the whole we could most probably stay with the stop and target, and we can change that one, those two, and end up with a nice $30 profit compared to the $7 loss that we had before. And this is all achieved by just saying, I wonder if I change these settings. Now if you want to take this to extreme, and we can, because this is a very fast, we can do them all at the same time. So I'm going to just do them all at the same time and see what we get. So we say OK, and we do go. Now this is going to take slightly longer. It says it's going to take 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video for 2.5 minutes, and when we get our results, we'll have a look at those. Okay, so what has happened here is that if we test all of them, and there was only, I think, 7 of them. Let's just quickly have a look. If we test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there was only 6 settings. If we test them all together, we get a 75% improvement. But that's not how the I wonder works. The I wonder works on doing separate ones. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to say, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to say, okay, the RSI settings are the most sensitive to good profits, and we need to change. And we need to change the RSI to 2, and we need to change the entry level to 15. So that's what we'll do. And we change that to 2, and we change that to 15. Okay, so there what we've achieved now is that if we had traded those settings from the beginning, we would have made $37 more profit if we had just made that particular change that we've made here. And how did we get there? We used the I wonder process. Now, just to read into these figures what the market is telling us how it wants to be traded. It says I want a faster RSI period. Instead of 4, I want 2, so it's faster. But I want to enter very selectively. I only want to enter if the price has gone more than minus 15 for a oversold situation, and returned. In other words, it returned from more than 15 and went over the 15 line. If you've been watching my previous videos, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So that's these are very selective settings, and they will provide a much higher level of success. Your percentage success will go up a lot more because you're using more selective entry criteria. And remember, that was our one problem. Our success level was actually, and that's why I also didn't change these numbers, because we were experiencing high positive results compared to low negative results. So that's the process that was used here. But can you see how quickly it's unfortunately I've taken a bit long on this particular video, but I hope you get the message about how powerful the I wonder can be. Look at the FX Blue statistics. If you're happy about these initial stop and target, and they are not contributing excessively to bigger profits, then the problem lies elsewhere in maybe the indicator settings like we've just done. Now, I've just done an example of one. This is what you do if your account is in trouble. You take your existing account and back test it, and then test it forward and change the settings accordingly. Now, before I leave, just another slide that basically looks at the pros and cons of iWonder. The iWonder is quick and easy. You saw it was actually very quick. Took a long time because I was explaining things, but I can actually do these things in maybe a minute or two. It's very effective. It tells you which settings are the most sensitive and which ones are producing the best results, and you can then change your settings accordingly. It's very easy process to learn. You've basically seen it step by step here. And it teaches you about the robot. We learned from this exercise that the robot likes to enter using more sensitive RSI levels. So we've learned quite a lot on that. We've also learned that the ADX doesn't play a major role, and so on. So we've learned a lot. We've also learned that the time frame of 30 minutes is most probably more suitable for this robot, although we didn't explore that much in this video. Now, the cons are that we are curve fitting to very small period of time. Like we've only done 3 weeks. Ideally, you should have at least 2 weeks, 2 months or 3 months that cover a trending and a sideways market. So that's a con, and I mention it as a con, and it's also curve fitted to the particular market that existed in the last 3 weeks. For the pound Oz, it could have been a trending market. So just be aware there are cons, but don't use this technique as your only technique. It just offers you guidance as to what kind of changes you can make to the settings, but they are pretty good guidance. I did show a previous video using the MACD indicator. I showed you a technique of actually seeing what's happening on the charts and adjusting the trading according to what you see on the chart. So that's the other technique. So there's lots of techniques. Don't only use one, use all of them together and get a balanced view on how you can improve the results of your EAs. Now, I must apologize for the length of this video, but I hope it was worth you watching it, and I hope you've learned a lot from this particular session. As always, links to anything mentioned in this video will be in the description of the video as well as in the commentary of the video. Please experiment with the iWonder technique. It will blow your minds away, especially if you've experienced a loss on a particular account. Go and experiment with that. Okay, so from me, Alex Eploy, thank you for watching the video, and remember to comment or ask any questions if you want clarification. Cheerio. Just a reminder to join our expert Forex community of over 30,000 Forex traders. It is free, so don't miss out on any new developments. A link is in the description of the video.